you... Is this an insult?
Yep.
Fucking meth addict.
Can I grab food really quick?
I have food. Come here.
Here, come here. Evidence LSPD bites 423. Don't give that to anybody. So LSPD bites 423.
Alas.
Yep. So usually what I do every shift is I come in and I stock up. So we have contracts with different food places, and they bring us food each day. So you should never have to buy food.
Okay, I'm asking. I don't mind either way. Will somebody be taking me out today, or am I going to go back to sleep until tomorrow?
Today. I mean, if you wanna.
I'm pretty sure she can go out afterwards.
Yeah, if you wanna take it out, get in queue, and someone wants to take you out, they can take you out. But I myself, I'm probably gonna go out to soon.
Okay, then I will. Should I do that now? Should I hop in queue now?
Yeah, go for it.
Well, if she wants to, I'll just take her with me, depending on how long this takes.
Okay.
Easy. Say less. Grab food just in case I get hungry.
Hey, I was right. They need the vending machines.
Okay, I am good.
All right. Basic stuff that you need to know. Obviously, you know how to do it, I think, but we just, freshener. You know, obviously how to escort me, right?
Yeah.
All right. You know how to put me in the car? It's gonna be.
Oh,
Yeah.
this takes longer.
Yeah, it does.
Thank goodness. To be honest.
So, yeah, that's how you do that.
Next.
You know how to cuff?
Take out.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna take him out, but he.
Oh, well, that happens sometimes. Yeah.
Use your
Oh, she did it right. But when I'm next to it, that's what tends to happen sometimes.
Is it better to just use my third eye to pull out so I know?
Yeah,
that's the only way you can do it.
Oh. Okay.
You know how to cuff and uncuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right, go for it.
Give me your wrist. But did you even try?
Garcia's
Of course
washed.
Not. Okay. Of course not. Okay.
The one thing I would say, well, I mean, I think we'll probably be taught to you, but I'm just gonna say now since you're showing you how to cuff and uncuff.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you vocalize every time, you know, like when you're gonna cuff someone.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's a big thing that some people seem to not do. So
yeah.
Make sure they know.
You know how to tell the difference, right? Like if they've been cuffed or if they've broken cuffs.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I mean, you do try to cuff someone. Always make sure that you're at least on a 45 degree from their back or whatever, or directly behind them.
Yeah.
Don't do it from the.
Makes sense. Yeah.
All right, Dampar, I guess take over from here, and then so I can know exactly what you would teach on a normal onboarding.
All right. Just give me a sec. I'll get the sheet up.
Actually, can you send it to me? Because I don't know which one you're talking about.
Have you got MDW access yet?
I do, yeah.
Do you know how to use it? Like, is it the same one that
Garcia,
you had or different?
It's in the the big document of everything.
It looks exactly the same, if that's what you mean.
All the new hire
Okay,
information.
so do you
Yeah.
know how to input evidence and stuff like that, or no?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
As long as it's the same from the other counties, the purple and green, then yes.
I can cover that section if you want, Dumbledore. See that? Nerd shit, that's what I'm good at. I bought a chicken for dinner and it doesn't taste good.
Yeah.
It has like absolutely no flavor.
From what you just spit on me, it doesn't taste good either.
Yeah. I had a chocolate donut for pre-dinner though, that was good. I might have a scone for dessert.
Hey, what, sir?
Didn't ask.
Did
Scone?
you get the thing, Garcia?
Yeah, I got it now.
So essentially, you got to go through pretty much everything that's on that hire packet
Okay.
to make sure that they understand it all. I don't go into it in depth like
Yeah, it's a
yesterday
lot
when
of
Kozlov
reading.
and they did it. They read every single one of them, but I usually just go through the main things.
Okay. Alright, I'll start with the basics, I guess. How familiar are you with the chain of command?
Think I could be familiar with it. I think I know.
So-
I command commands.
You'd have to go through ranks.
Okay,
So I'd start
chief.
with chief.
I don't know if there's a deputy chief. I don't actually know.
I can
Is
just tell you if you want to make it.
okay. Yeah, that's fine. Sure.
Alright. So obviously, you're cadet right now. Then you become solo, then a normal officer, then a senior officer. Then this is the newest rank that we have is a corporal. Corporal is kind of like, it's as
Prelude
close.
to command.
Yeah, exactly. So if you're a corporal, you're pretty much doing command shit, except actually, honestly, a lot of paperwork. Then sergeant is where command begins. Then you lieutenant. Then that's where high command starts, which would be a captain. Then sheriff / chief of police.
Well, there's
And
assistant chief
of police.
and
Oh, yeah.
deputy
Undersheriff.
undersheriff. Yeah.
Yeah, those are all high command.
Okay.
Obviously, try to. I know you're probably gonna be very familiar with certain people, but if you ever have any kind of questions, try to follow the chain of command as much as you can. If it's something very simple and basic, if it's a normal officer or whatever, try to talk to them.
Okay.
Don't directly go to the highest, because they probably already have a lot to do, I guess.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I guess the next thing is try to be as professional as possible as always.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to everything, really, like when you're out in public, always try to be professional. I guess the best thing, the way I tell cadets, as a cadet, we want you to learn, right? This is the time where you're going to be learning, and you're going to have to hold yourself back with any kind of possible, ways that you might want to be in the future, I guess you can say. The only thing we care about for the most part is we want you to be learning. So we want to know that you can actually become an actual officer,
Yep, that makes sense.
Yeah, one thing I can tell you with being a cadet is when it comes to traffic stops and stuff like that, I wouldn't give anyone warnings. I would ticket everyone. If they're doing the wrong thing, ticket them. Because anyone that's going to be teaching you or FTOing you or watching over what you're doing will see that you're actually, you're willing to do what you got to do to.
Okay, that makes sense. That actually is a question that I would have asked is, I I'm assuming that goes the same with like things that are with processing, doing it 100% the way it's supposed to be versus like being like, for example,
Yeah.
certain things like having a dongle and not doing boosts and such like that.
Yeah, we
I'm
want to.
assuming is
Yeah, we want to be able, like kind of like what it says. We want to know that you know how to do
I
everything.
know how
right?
to do it. Yeah, that makes sense.
And
Okay.
then once you
I
become
will.
solo, you could start being more lenient and
Sure.
do things at your own pace.
Okay.
But I mean, it'll only help you. For example, traffic stops is a good example. Like you don't have to give someone a ticket going 45 and a 35, but it helps the MTO know, like, if you know how to, exactly what you want to give him a ticket as or whatever, like you're speeding, yada, what else did he do, and if you get everything correctly, it just helps you be able to get to solo a lot sooner.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
A plus boost Garcia, let's go.
Doing onboarding right now. Second.
I can go to that.
Yeah, go for it.
Reed, you want to be taught how to drive?
What the fuck?
Obviously, okay. The next one is just actually, what do I even? Most of this, the hiring and cadet progression, like it's kind of like academy and stuff like that. I mean, we're not.
Yeah, have you set a call sign and everything up in dispatch and central dispatch?
I did it.
Okay, so you did it by yourself.
Check.
I believe I did it.
Try to get into queue. For cadet.
You want me to do that? Okay.
Yeah.
Should we just slash cadet?
Yeah.
I can then set your time zone up then.
Yeah. I'm sorry. When
Right,
you
so
had
you-
said that, I did it with here in the city is what I had
Yeah,
said,
no, you've
sorry.
got to do it in there as well, so I can do that for you. What was your call sign again?
I think we went 522.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I do too. While he's doing that, I guess the simple basic rules when it comes to like, doing ride-alongs or whatever. Make sure you always prioritize this. Actually, to be honest, when you're a normal cadet, try to stay in this time zone only, and then like if you want to become solo, then kind of want to wander a little bit. But as long as you're focused on this one, it's not the worst thing in the world.
Okay.
But, also, you should be patrolling a max of 4 hours, unless that FTO wants to, maybe take you out for an extra hour or two for due to incidents taking so long, or maybe they weren't able to take you out. I mean, that's gonna be up to the FTO, but for the most part, you're gonna be looking at 4 hours every shift.
Okay.
Obviously basic shit like, which I want to say most of this is kind of useless. Like, it's saying like make sure you're only riding with FTOs, but only actually, what do you think about this part? Not authorized to ride with a non-certified FTO. Is that still a thing?
Yes. Yeah, so any officer can take you out. They don't have to be an FTO.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so any officer that's been an officer for 2 weeks or more, I think it is, can take you out. So it doesn't necessarily have to be an FTO. takes you out.
Okay.
So, but they'll sort of come and hit you up anyway. So if you essentially when you want to go in duty, you jump in the cadet queue, and then the next officer that's going to take the cadet will reach out to you to let you know.
And will they contact me even though waiting for FTO? I'm assuming.
There, and sometimes they'll just like email you privately. So.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good.
But you'll also, if it's a FTO that's taking you, you'll get like an email will automatically be sent to you to say, hey, you're up.
Perfect. Okay.
And you get like 5 or 10 minutes to respond to accept it. If not, it puts you to the back of the queue and takes the next one.
Okay. Sounds good.
Then I think you get kicked out of the queue completely once you deny like 2 or 3 times. But
Yeah.
I don't think that'll really be an issue. So
See, once you basically, unless you're ready to get on duty, don't get in the queue because
Yeah, that makes
you
sense.
get a limited amount of chances to get in. And if we hire at the rate we want to hire, you probably find there'll be quite a few cadets in queue. So yeah, you can wait for quite a while for a spot to open up. So you're best off to take the first option you get. So
When I'm in queue and I want to get out, how do I get out?
you just leave, as in /leave.
Yep. Sounds good.
Oh, I was actually gonna ask you that. Is that how it works for me too? I've every time I get off duty, it's never removing me from the queue.
When you get off duty, do you usually take a shower or do you
I do take a shower.
Yeah. So if you take a shower, you just got to leave.
Okay.
/leave. Whereas if you actually take a nap, like a hard nap, it'll automatically remove you.
Okay, so I'll probably just start this.
The other things that you should go through is case laws, just to explain them and what the reason behind them is. Have you read up on the case laws, or are you familiar with case laws? I imagine you would be.
Yes. I brushed up on them yesterday before the interview, and I mean, I understand them. I can explain to you them. Corresponding the names with what the case law is where it's a little dicey, remembering each name of the case law. I just kind of remember key points and what the case law corresponds with it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. What I suggest, obviously, try to memorize it as much as possible, but I think the number one thing that we care about is knowing how to actually,
use it.
Do it in the
how to
streets.
articulate it.
Yeah, that's
and the other thing is the in-city case laws too. They're the ones that you probably need more help with than anything else, because they're ones that aren't like familiar with outside the city.
I will say that I only know the basic ones that are, for example, like in the new hire packet you gave me, like those ones. I know that there are significantly more that are rare. By significant, there's a few that are rare, but that I don't know those. I know that when I did my between cadet to officer evaluation before, I was asked about case laws that I didn't know because I just didn't know them. There were ones that, plus case laws in the other counties pretty much never came up ever, really. If that makes sense, because there wasn't really a yes, they come up, but there wasn't.
Well, you guys
there
didn't
isn't
have,
really.
you guys didn't have
there's,
court or anything, right?
There's no court. Yeah, essentially, the officers were a judge. Yeah, and we made final decisions on stuff. So it was, which is good and bad. I mean, it allowed me to, with that power, you have to really justify and make sure that what you're charging someone with is accurate, because they can't get a chance to fight it, really. So making sure that they were.
I want to be cop in other counties, man. You know how amazing it'd be to charge someone with what I know I can charge them and not be threatened to go to a fucking court? Oh my god.
Not have to go to court for it.
Yeah,
That's
be good. That would be very handy.
All right. Yeah, we'll start with some case laws, I guess. The more popular ones, we'll try to skim through them kind of quickly. Since so Tennessee versus Garner, do you know what that is?
it's the fleeing felon law. It's essentially, if I believe someone is a threat to themselves or others, I have the right to use deadly force if I have good faith that they could harm themselves or others, essentially.
Yeah, I think you explained it pretty good in that interview. So
Yeah.
Terry versus Ohio.
Terry versus Ohio is I am allowed to detain and Terry frisk for officer safety, for a weapon, or if I have reasonable suspicion that they would have a weapon in their possession. I cannot search. I can only Terry frisk. I can only frisk and feel for a weapon.
Okay. Pennsylvania versus Mims.
Pennsylvania versus Mims. If I'm on a traffic stop, kind of the same situation. For officer safety, I can request for the individuals in the vehicle to get out of the vehicle once they are detained, of course, from a traffic stop, and have them furthermore come onto the sidewalk for safety purposes of myself and detain them furthermore.
Yeah, that's good. Wyoming versus Houston.
Wyoming versus Houston is if there's a passenger in the vehicle, essentially I'm allowed to, like, for example, I could search through, if I have a belief that they are hiding something in the vehicle for an arrest in like their purse or a backpack or something like that, I'm allowed to search the passenger belongings in the vehicle.
Okay. Carol versus the United States.
Carol versus the United States is I'm allowed to do warrantless searches of vehicles, essentially because if something has in the vehicle, they can move said vehicle and evidence would be lost from that. I don't have to essentially get a search warrant to search a vehicle.
Okay. I mean, those are the I guess Miranda versus Arizona.
The Miranda versus Arizona is the Miranda rights. And for any questioning, I need to make sure that I Mirandize any suspects so that their statements are admissible in court. This does not include sudden utterance, I think is what it's called, where they say something and I'm not questioning them. They're,
Spontaneous utterance.
spontaneous. I never can remember the first word for it. But essentially, if I'm going to question a suspect, I need to make sure that I Mirandize them so they're aware of their rights of counsel.
Right. So those
Hey
are
there,
the
Crystal.
those are the main ones you're gonna have to know. The rest, I'm gonna have you just go through them and make sure you learn them. Because the rest of the ones
Sure.
are the in-city ones.
Yep.
Let's go on to use of force. Do you know the 5 levels of force?
Officer presence, being in an area essentially will make someone less likely to commit a crime, or if they were, they might stop or something of the sorts. Vocalization or verbalization, using my voice, telling them to stop running, stop moving if I'm chasing someone. I believe it is it's either called closed hand or open hand, which is tackling, punching, kicking, which punching and kicking is a more escalated version of it if I'm chasing a suspect. Non-lethal, which would be tasing, batoning, flashlighting, and then lethal force, which would be shooting to subdue a suspect.
Just when you word that, just make sure you use less than lethal.
Less than
Because
lethal, okay.
Tasers and that there's still a chance that you could possibly die from it, I guess.
Yeah.
So they prefer you call it less than lethal rather than non-lethal.
Okay.
Because they can be lethal.
Yep. Okay.
Well, the next one is RSMPC, but I mean, I'll be honest, you already kind of you did really well with RSMPC in the interviews, so we don't really have to go too much into it.
Okay.
It's just the regular 10 codes you need to go over.
Yeah, how good are we with 10 codes?
Okay, so I know a good amount of them, but I'm gonna be honest, I pretty much always leave a little cheat sheet on my dashboard if it's something and mostly any 10 codes we went to were bank robberies. So 1090. I mean, I know basic ones of like in service, out of service, busy, 77, 78. Traffic stops, felony stops.
Tell me the call signs while you're saying these, just to make sure.
Okay. 1041 is on duty. 1042 off duty. 108 is ready to patrol, I guess, or in service. 107 is out of service, or I won't be able to respond to calls. 106 is I'm busy, but if I am needed, I can go to respond to calls. 1090 is a robbery. 99 are boost calls or GTA calls.
What's an 80?
Police chase. 1050 is a crash. A crash, or they crash. I guess I should just assume I'm crashing.
76.
76 is en route.
37.
So if I'm not mistaken, drug calling.
Oh,
You kind of talked to me about it a little earlier.
Nerd
It's
It's actually suspicious activity. So, because
Okay.
even though 99.9% of them are drug calls,
yeah,
people get upset when you call them a drug call. So just say suspicious activity, keep them happy.
sure, okay. 52s is like ambulance or EMS.
What about EMS?
Repeat that question.
Yeah, like what about EMS?
Like that we need EMS.
Okay.
20 or 23 is arriving to wherever I'm going. I think that's
10-2.
well, 10-3 is to stop talking on the radio. 10-2 is I don't know it. I don't remember off the top of my head.
So essentially, it's able to copy. So if someone says radio check, you just say 10-2.
10-2 that yes, okay, and then 10-9 is to repeat what somebody's saying.
10-1 is unable to copy. I learned that the other day, so I tell everyone now.
Yeah.
The most important one is 1087. That means you're going to pick your check up.
Oh, okay. I wouldn't have known. 1087. I'm sure that there are more that'll come up that I know, but I don't know them off the top of my head.
38.
38 is a traffic stop.
Can't see that. Shows that.
The felony stops aren't a 10 code, though, here, correct? So I'm mistaken.
I guess
No, you just call for felon.
Okay.
since the way we do felony steps are there, since you're mentioning it, don't if okay, so one reason you would do a felony step is if the vehicle stolen, right? Which is a 1060. If you see a
Right.
1060 vehicle, call out on radio that you see the vehicle and you're following it. Don't actually turn the lights on until you have backup.
They have more people, yeah. That's how they had us do it. Essentially, because it was like when extra units were there, you did the felony immediately to not allow the person to prepare for if it was going to be a felony stop, essentially.
And that, and just honestly, just a safety precaution, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, you will be taught this, but when you do perform a felony, the whole idea is to have everyone there. So the minute you pull the vehicle over and everyone's in position, you just get out.
Yeah,
There's
without
no 3, 2, 1
counting
or anything
and
like that.
yes, yeah. That's how they taught us there too.
Yeah.
I mean, I think those are all the. I mean, you said pretty much all the
Oh my
important
God,
ones.
is the vault going off?
Is it actually?
Yeah.
All right, your first call's gonna be the vault.
Okie dokie. Is this where I should get a class 2 or no?
Yeah, you can get an MPX.
Okay.
I think she's ready, right,
Alright.
Downpour? I mean, I don't know if there's anything.
Yeah,
else.
that's pretty much everything.
Okay. All right, yeah, go get your MPX.
Gone really quick.
I got one hostage up front, one in the back.
You gonna take her out for a bit?
4 individuals.
Yeah, I'll
one
go
plug mask,
with a
one
little bit.
red, one in a.
Just jump in the queue thing and
Thickness, black mask.
you should be
No.
able to
Something unidentified.
next to.
How about you going upstairs for for class 2?
So you just have to slash FTO.
He said his name is Alex Balderall.
Hey Garcia, will you see Kennedy anytime soon?
He's gonna have all the loot.
What's up?
Oh, these
can
are the
you
guys
get
that ran
Reese
over
Kennedy
the
when you
street
see him?
racer earlier and
Oh
killed him.
god. Okay.
67823.
You put him on me earlier. You can fucking have him back. I'm having that shit taking up space in my pockets. You gotta have the quick bar of a shooter, you know?
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll take it out for a little bit, and then Mason could finish their last 2 hours or
Yeah.
something.
Once that vault's over, we'll do that thingamajig if that's cool.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
I get all LSPD together.
Okay.
Give me a motor. Can I?
Yes, please.
Okay,
Motor would be
motor.
cool.
Alright, there's
You
hostage
guys
in the
don't
back.
use
There's
radio
Hey,
channel
what,
one.
what car's outside?
Revolter, the black card, the cosmic.
Oh my god, it is fucking Bogo.
Yeah, it is. Rat fuck.
I'm pulling
Ooh.
some
There's
fucking
gonna be
dumb
one guy with
Russian.
a class 1 in the back wearing a white shirt.
They're hitting the
bluish
fucking
mask,
vault.
blue pants, and then a man who's blonde wearing a thickness mask and a white shirt.
How many
Have we already got-
I think Francis
Is it
took that
channel
motor.
1?